Smackdown Live, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the new intro. I know I made one about a month ago to replace the older version I was using, but Naomi won. Come on. You actually think I wasn't going to redo my intro, adding in Bray Wyatt as a champ and Naomi at the very end of that intro as champion of the women's division of WWE? I had to. Anyway, let's get to the show. Removed from Elimination Chamber, what did we actually get? Well, not a very good show. But it was a twist. There was a twist of fate on this show, and I will be getting to that as soon as possible. But let's get to the things I thought were ridiculous. American Alphas against the Ascension. Come on, let's be honest here. And Nicole Beth, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry I botched your name at the Elimination Chamber. I was just so excited. I just botched. I know you said it's cool. You weren't upset about it. You didn't really care. It doesn't matter. But still, I'm sorry. You love the Usos like I do. You believe like I do. The Usos are the best team there. But let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. The Usos need people to work with. You only got American Alpha and the Usos. You got the Ascension, you got Vaudevillains, you got the Man Beast and the Man with 7 kids. And the Fashion Police and anybody else you want to include. And they're doing nothing with them. Look, in the late 80s, early 90s, they had more than one storyline for tag teams. They used to do like 2 or 3 tag team stories at the same time. And we can't even get one done. American Alpha are boring. Not because they can't do good promo segments. Not because they're not good in the ring. It's because they have no one to go up against. Look at the Usos. They're a great tag team. They're great heels. And guess what? The WWE didn't do anything with them. They turned them heel. And they haven't put them up against anybody to make them interesting once they turn heel. They only let them appear once in a while. What? On Superstars? I understand Main Event has now been retired. So what are these guys doing in the back? What are they doing? Are they going to Superstars? They're not working on Raw. They're not going to NXT much at all, if ever. So what are they doing with the tag teams? Absolutely nothing. So when I looked at this, I didn't give a damn. You know who American Alpha reminds me of? American Alpha reminds me of the world greatest tag team of Shelton Benjamin and, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot his name. I forgot his name. You guys can tell me below. It's been a long time since I thought about these guys. But the minute I noticed it, I'm going like, you know what they're missing? Kurt Angle. Right now, they will have a better chance and we will have more interest in the tag team division if Kurt Angle came out and became a mentor of Gable and thinking about having Gable and Jordan working with Kurt Angle would actually be more interesting than actually seeing anything else that's going on in the tag teams. I want to see the Vaudevillains have a feud against the Ascension. I want to see a real feud between the two. Yeah, they're both heels, but who cares? As long as it's something. Let's move on to the next thing that made no sense. I really don't even want to talk about it. It should have happened on the pay-per-view. And that's Elimination Chamber. That is Becky Lynch versus Mickie James. Why couldn't she have been doing that? She should have did that at the pay-per-view. She should have had that match. She should have cheated if she couldn't be allowed to win the normal way. She should have cheated. And then again, she had a match. And this time she won clean. Why do they keep doing the stupid 50-50 booking? And they're pushing Becky Lynch, whose character is so bland. And she has nothing to prove. She already beat Mickie James at the pay-per-view. Her first true... You can see my frustration, ladies and gentlemen. Mickie James, I love me Mickie James. Naomi and Mickie James are the best wrestlers they have on that roster. Well, of course you can talk about... Natalya is one of the best they have in current times. Let's be honest, she is. If you're going to talk about pure technical wrestling, she's it. But as an excitement value, she's not built for that. She's built more to be a heel technical wrestler than an exciting face. She just is. in that type of category. And I'm seeing someone all around the best they have. And it comes down to Mickie Jane being the best all-around wrestler that can do technical, high-flying, who can talk her ass off and get people to care. And you have her come back, having an incredible match with Asuka. Then you have her come back to SmackDown as a heel, which we all know she's better as a face. But you bring her as a heel. And our first true match by herself, not talking about having a tag team with Alexa Bliss. She jobs on a freaking pay-per-view. And then she has to cheat to win here. When she should have cheated to win on the pay-per-view and then win clean on SmackDown. Now, I could say clean on both of them, but then there wouldn't be... she wouldn't be a heel the way they sponsor them these days. I'm seeing it in a point of view of having somewhere in between. Have her cheat sometimes, but still show that she can win clean. That's what should have happened here. Stupid. Did Dolph... oh, here's another one. Here's Dolph. What did Dolph actually gain having a Renee Young interview? Not much. He needs to work with someone that gave him some type of relevance almost a month ago. And that's supposedly the King, Jerry the King Lawler and JBL. I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know if I'm going to put both their pictures on the screen. I might not this time. But I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen. You guys tell me below why this shouldn't happen. You got two guys in Apollo Crews and Kalisto who are really not that strong to really put Dolph over, because he needs to be put Dolph... Sorry, I'm getting angry. I'm really angry. Dolph Ziggler, whether you think he's a piece of garbage or not, should and did have an opportunity with Jerry the King Lawler almost a month ago. When it came to JBL, he should be the one who's supposed to challenge him. Even if the King's not around anymore. He's gone. It would have made sense to continue with JBL because he's actually the King's friend. And he was never happy that the King almost died. You wanted to go there with Dolph Ziggler to make him freaking dark. And he's not dark. He's just a bitch that can't handle losing. And he just beats people up. That doesn't make him better. And I've seen Deluxe Man review of Dolph. And I'm sorry. If anybody shows this to Deluxe Man, dude, I'm sorry. You can say that this is interesting and how far he's going. But he needs a credible threat to go up against. He needs someone interesting, a legend, to put him over to go into the title scene again. He needs two legends. He needs Jerry the King Lawler. He needs JBL. And I know JBL's not going to get it done right in the ring. He hasn't done it in years. But he's the best person to get him over, to put him back in the title scene, that actually can work with Bray Wyatt. He can't do it like this. He's garbage like this. He needs a credible reason to be darker than Bray Wyatt. Or at least to join him. Let's move on to Carmella. And, what do you call James Ellsworth other than the shrimp? Becoming irrelevant. He's losing a lot of his steam. He's not doing anything anymore. Working with Carmella is not helping Carmella. And it's not helping him much. There's going to be a point. This is what I believe is going to happen by July if they do the draft again. James Ellsworth is going to move from move from SmackDown to Raw. I got that reversed because it's coming. He is still relevant to a certain extent, but his steam has gone from here and it's here. But it's still enough that WWE is going to move him from one roster to another. He'll be the new Hornswoggle. It's going to happen. It will happen. And at this moment, Carmella has nothing to do. They really need another woman on that roster to do something with her. Mickie Jane is not going to work with a Carmella right now because she's dealing with Becky Lynch. Natalya and Nikki Bella are not going to be working. Neither one are going to bother with her. Alexa Bliss is working with Naomi, who I will be getting to in a minute. So what do we exactly have for her to do? She's literally doing nothing. She's probably bored out of her mind. She'd rather be doing something. She probably would be better off working in NXT right now part-time. At least it'll keep her in shape. Ring shape is very important for a wrestler, male or female. If you're not good ring shape, you look bad to the crowd. And she hasn't done any wrestling in a while, unless it's for a dark match at a live show that's not shown on the WWE Network or on SmackDown or Raw. She's going to get out of shape. I'm just saying. We now have two last things to talk about. I am so happy, but then I'm a little upset. Naomi segment. I kind of wish they'd opened the show with Naomi. I know that sounds like, dude, you so in love with this woman. You don't want to see what's going on. No, that's not the truth. Look what they did on Raw. They opened the show with either... I'm seeing it the way most people would see it. That if they saw this, say, man, you want her ass so bad. And that kind of angers me. Because I am seeing this objectively. Charlotte and the boss, Sasha Banks, both had a chance to open up Raw. How couldn't Naomi open the show? Why couldn't she open the show? Now, it's a good possibility after WrestleMania, if she does win next week and retain, and they do WrestleMania and she wins and retain, maybe they'll finally realize they need to open the show with a woman in a Naomi night. But I'm just saying, come on. You could have done it. You didn't have to have it there. You could have Bray Wyatt in her position. It wouldn't have hurt. It wouldn't hurt him. Anyway, she got hurt. Looks like she hurt her knee again. And she said, look, nothing's going to stop me. I've had tears. I've had pulls. I had my eyeball socket cracked. Thank you, Oksana. Still remember that. Just me. And she says, I'm going to keep going. And people were still cheering, you deserve it. Maybe not as strong as Bray Wyatt in the beginning of the show, but they were chanting, you deserve it. This time it didn't hurt. It makes me happy to see the crowd is behind Naomi. Because they know 8 years she struggled. Since 2009. Actually, she started roughly the beginning of 2009, somewhere near the middle. It's just good to see that she's finally getting the recognition she deserves. The only thing I'm worried about is they'll make it short. They say they may let her go to WrestleMania. I haven't looked at no cheat sheets. I don't want to know they're actually going to do it or not. I'm the type that does not want to lose the magic of wrestling. That's why I don't look at cheat sheets often. Very rarely I do. And seeing that Alexa Bliss, who is really one hell of a good heel, comes out, cuts a good promo and says clearly, oh, you're going to find out when I beat you that your glow's gone, girl. You got 1 week. And then I'm coming for my title. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to beat you up and down the hallway. I'm fine with that. And Naomi legitimately showed anger. And I've always said, she shows it on her sleeve. She shows her emotion. She don't want someone trying to mess with her. She pissed her off. And in this case, I'm glad it happened. I'm very glad to see this. I just hope Naomi isn't actually badly hurt. Maybe this might be a work. It could actually be a shoot. You never know. You never know what might happen. Now, finally, the end of the show. The triple threat between Bray... Why? I feel like they could have stretched this. They could have waited a little bit before they did this triple threat. It seemed a little too soon. Was it a bad match? No. I did enjoy it. It was a good match for what parts we were able to see, because we did miss a lot because they had to go to commercial. Of course, you can use the app to watch it. I don't do that. That's not what I like to do. I like to actually see it as it continues like it was in the 80s and 90s. You didn't have the internet then, but you still could use your imagination now. People use too much technology. They tend to forget the mystique of wrestling was not to know exactly everything that happened. You need to have a little mystery. Anyway, Bray wins. But you wonder now what's going to happen. The opening of the show, that promo he did was beautiful. Yeah, when AJ and Cena came out and Daniel Bryan came out, it was alright. But then you wonder, how far are they going to go with this storyline between Bray and Randy Orton? Randy said it clearly. You're my master. And I refuse to face you at WrestleMania 33. A twist of fate. Could this actually be the truth? Will we actually get something entirely different from the Royal One? I'm actually kind of botchy right now because I'm actually kind of excited. Because this will be the first time in history that when they've done the Royal Rumble and the person who wins it usually goes after the champ, this doesn't happen. And they do something entirely different. I wouldn't mind seeing something entirely different. Maybe they'll throw somebody in his place. Maybe they'll do something entirely different. But my guess is he's lying until near WrestleMania and he screws him over and wins. I just don't know. It's hard to feel this. It really is. I just don't know how to feel about this situation. You guys tell me how you feel. It was a great promo and a nice twist at the end of Smackdown, but you guys tell me below. And oh, I know I didn't say anything about Nikki and excuse me, Nikki and Natalya having a street fight. I don't really need to say anything because it's still the feud. But anyway, have a good day, have a good night,